Painting can be soothing, it can be exciting, it can be irritating, it can be a lot of these things. Well, whatever it is, you're responsible for it. And art follows money. I don't care what how that sounds, it's the truth. There is no formula for success. Nobody knows what sells. One of the rules in painting is you paint fat over lean. Looks pretty fat. You've got to love the process, you know. I think a lot of artists want to get to the point where they're finishing the painting. That's the fun part. They want to get it on there and get it so you got this good looking thing to show for all your work. But I love the preparation too.
What started as a boyhood obsession
I loved drawing ever since I could hold a pencil, I think. I can't remember a time I wasn't drawing.
has turned into a lifelong obsession and a career as a professional artist for 58 years.
When I told anybody I wanted to be an artist, they'd say, but what are you going to do for a living? I don't care how positive you think, most of the time you're going to get rejected. That's true of all the arts. People think, you say, well, I use photographs, and they go, oh, well, that's easy, you're just copying photographs. Well, it's a little bit more than that. My response is usually, you try it, see what you think. So one of the things I like about painting is that it's practically impossible to master. You can get good at it. Instead of letting that frustrate you, that's what the philosophers call divine discontent. You've got to use it to your advantage. You know, it keeps you going, keeps you interested.
Divine discontent. It's just one of the many things that keeps David Kreitzer painting.
As long as the thing is difficult, you're into it, you're interested, you're working at it, you're discovering things. It's a lighting problem, it's the sunrise, and so it's raking across here. You take these few colors and you combine them and you play with them, and you can make images or not images or whatever. You can do whatever you want. You're like God in a way, a little teeny God working in his creation. I like what's happening. It's just I got to tighten it up. My desire has always been to do harmless and beautiful images. The highest compliment I get on a painting when somebody says, that makes me feel good, or I like that. Because when they're saying I like it, they're saying it's healing, you know. To me, that is the higher aspect of painting. Your belief in yourself has to be strong enough that you don't need anybody else telling you how good you are, or that, you know, you should do this, you should do that. That should come, you know, if it's something you've got to do, then you'll do it.
Kreitzer grew up in Nebraska.
That's mostly family stuff.
Went to graduate school at San Jose State.
I worked my way through graduate school as a cartoonist.
Cut his teeth in the San Francisco art scene.
Have your parents saying, what are you going to do? How are you going to make money?
Made a living as a painter for decades in San Luis Obispo.
I got to paint. I got to do what I wanted to do.
And moved to Bend 4 years ago. Not to retire, but rather to be inspired.
We came up here and it's very rejuvenating doing mountains now. I love it.
His wife Jacqueline was born and raised in Bend before moving away and pursuing her own career in the arts as a professional opera singer.
I met him at Seattle Opera backstage.
Their life revolves around art, and their home surrounds them in it.
Everywhere we've lived, we've turned our home into an art gallery. So we call it art in a domestic setting.
David's paintings line the walls of the house and his studio.
He's obviously very prolific. He's painted around 1,600 paintings in his lifetime, sold around 1,400, and has around 200 paintings at any one time. So wonderful little vignettes from Nebraska. Giant Tetons. He actually did this for me for my birthday. Beautiful stormy day. He gets very excited about painting clouds. Again, water. This is Skykomish River.
There's been highs and lows along the way.
It got to the point where my phone was cut off. I had no heat in the apartment, so I was painting in the kitchen with a stove on.
But the one constant has been painting and David's unrelenting pursuit of of his passion.
And the one thing I didn't want to do was go the rest of my life telling people I could have done it, or I should have done it, I could have, nothing sounds more lame.
A career spanning 7 different decades has provided Kreitzer with the kind of perspective that only comes with time.
You have to understand why you're painting. If it's really important to you, you'll do whatever you need to do to keep going.
In Bend, Eric Lindstrom, Central Oregon Daily News.